Stuart, we're into the semi-final of the Premier Sports Cup. How does that feel?
Listen, simply it's an amazing feeling for us all, and it was an amazing night, I have to say, Scotty. I thought it was a pretty decent cup tie, if we strip it back to that. Maybe not a lot going on in the first half. You understand how much it means to both sets of players, both clubs. We all had the aspiration of trying to get to Hampden off the back of tonight. We both fancied our chances, but you know, I have to speak probably a wee bit from the heart. It was a magical place tonight. I thought the players really added to that. You know, the crowd were with us for the very start, and I felt that the players emptied their tank, so to speak, and really brought the crowd through the 90 plus minutes. No coincidence again, we scored in injury time in the first half and we scored in injury time in the second half. We would have loved it to have been a wee bit more comfortable, but I don't think I ever had that feeling at any point that we were going to run away with this game. We were going to have to work hard to try and win it. But you know, I've heard a lot of stories. I try and invest a lot of time in trying to find out as much about the football club that you work for, and you know that I've become associated with over this last period of time. And you hear about the magical moments, getting to semi-finals and finals, and obviously that one moment that stands out for this club and its history, or one of the biggest moments that stands out for this club in its history, back in '91. And you want a piece of that yourself, and that was kind of how I was trying to sell it to the players tonight, that we want to go and try and create our own history, always remember what's went before us, and celebrate that, rightfully so, but we wanted to try and put our own mark on what we can do as a football club. We've not done anything, we've not won anything, but it's certainly a good feeling off the back of the occasion tonight, and as I say, the atmosphere that was created in here for the supporters, for me, was magical.
We can touch on a number of players from tonight, but we'll start with Zach Robinson up front. You've trusted by him. It was his first goal tonight. He put in some shift. How impressed were you by him?
Yeah, he deserved that tonight. You hit the nail on the head. I was getting a little bit frustrated in the first half. Felt that there was a lot of contacts with him in the centre backs that probably could have been fouls. You know, we're always going to see it that way. But you know, he got his just rewards. I thought he showed his quality. We've obviously believed in Zach. We've given him the nod more often than not to lead a line, and there's a reason why, because he's still a young lad, and we think that there's loads to come from him. But I thought his all-round game was terrific tonight. You can see that he ran his last step for us out there and had to come off, but you know, he was so well assisted by so many others. I thought that so many stood up to the task and showed us what they're about. And sometimes in cup ties it's not all about pretty football, sometimes it's not all about fantastic combinations going to the opposition goal. I thought we had some of them, but it was just about showing that mettle and showing that character, and I think that Zach epitomised that for us, and for the duration that he was on the pitch.
Just touch on one more player, the winning moment. I think nobody could watch, frankly, but Lennon Miller stepped up, oozing class at such a young age once again. Were you even surprised?
I was just about to ask you, were you surprised? None of us are. None of us are. I've obviously put my trust in him because I believe he's a special player, but I keep going back to the bit where you know, you're a special human being as well, because you know, this isn't just all about how you kick a football about. You need to have nerve, you have to have belief in yourself, you have to have the trust of myself, the staff, and the 6,000 Motherwell fans that packed this stadium out tonight. But there was no doubt in any of our mind. It's just that for me has to be celebrated, to step up in the 91st minute in a cup tie that means so much and show that level of composure. You know, there's been loads of talk about young players and under 21s getting opportunities in the game and all the rest of it, but that's a special moment for an 18-year-old to step up and show that level of composure. But I thought his all-round game was pretty good again as well. You know, his composure in moments where the game's frantic, Scott, is quite unbelievable, and he just looks to me as if he's going from strength to strength. Me saying this, I would be reluctant to sometimes with certain individuals, but I'm not, because he doesn't get carried away. He'll go home, he'll rest up the next couple of days, and he'll get himself ready for next weekend.
Just finally, trips to Hampden aren't a regular occurrence for Motherwell and their supporters. How's it going to feel for you leading this team out onto the Hampden turf?
Obviously there's going to be a lot of water under the bridge before we get to that, but proud as punch. You know, I do personally set goals. You know, my remit is to make this club as successful as we possibly can, and to try and achieve as much as we possibly can with the resources we've got, and you know, where we are in the standing of the game and all the rest of it. But I do set personal goals. goals, and I can assure you that I came into this building tonight and I was absolutely desperate to try and lead the team towards Hampden, because it's a personal milestone. It's a place that I know well. I've played a lot of football there in my early years, but there's something special about the National Stadium. There's something special about getting to the last 4 national competitions. But as I say, we'll not get carried away with ourselves. There's obviously hurdles to cross, but I just feel that it's a big stage for us, a big step for us, and the confidence and the feel-good factor. And we obviously want that to lead into next weekend as well, Scott. The people that came and backed us tonight, we would love it if they come and do that again next week in the same fashion, because there's no question that certainly helps the group of players when you get that backing.
Congratulations, Stuart.
Cheers, Scott.